right now, in this very moment, you hold the power to shift your life. You don't need to wait for tomorrow. You don't need to wait for someone to rescue you. You already possess one of the most powerful gifts God has ever given humanity, the power to choose your thoughts. And that choice, that simple divine choice, is the key that unlocks your full potential. Negative thinking is not just a bad habit. It is a thief. It steals your joy. It robs you of peace. It suffocates purpose. It blinds your eyes to the doors God is opening. And if you don't deal with it, it will bury you under the weight of fear, insecurity, and self-doubt. But today, yes, today, we're going to put an end to that. We're going to kill negative thinking once and for all. Let me ask you something. How many dreams have you buried because of a lie whispered in your mind? How many times have you stood at the edge of opportunity only to walk away because a voice said, you're not good enough? That voice is a liar, and it must be silenced. Your mind, my friend, is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you sow seeds of fear, inferiority, and doubt, don't be surprised when your life bears the fruit of discouragement and failure. But if you plant seeds of faith, of courage, of self-worth, then you will reap a harvest of destiny. This is not about ignoring problems. This is not about pretending pain doesn't exist. No. This is about how you respond to life's storms. It's about knowing that within you is the power to rise, to endure, and to win. The strength God placed inside of you was not meant to lie dormant. It was meant to be activated through faith, through mindset, and through truth. Let me tell you a story. A young man was born into poverty. He had no father, no support system, and no real education. The odds were stacked against him. Everything around him said, you'll never make it. But one day, he made a decision. He decided his circumstances would not define his future. He chose to believe in what God had put inside of him, even when others couldn't see it. He began feeding his mind with the Word. He replaced every negative thought with truth. He found mentors. He set goals. He worked with discipline. And day by day, he built his future. That young man is now a thriving entrepreneur, a leader in his community, and a living testimony of what's possible when you kill the lies and choose the truth. Now listen, if he could do it, so can you. Because the same God who lifted him is ready to lift you. But it starts with your mind. You must become the gatekeeper of your thoughts. Too many people are walking around defeated because they never learned to challenge what's playing in their head. So here's how we kill negative thinking. Step 1, become aware. Pay attention to your inner dialogue. What is that voice saying? Is it building you up or tearing you down? Step 2, confront the lie. Ask yourself, is this true or is this fear disguised as logic? Challenge every limiting belief. Step 3, replace the lie with truth. Speak what God says about you. Declare your worth. Declare your future. Declare your victory. Step 4, surround yourself with growth. Read truth. Listen to wisdom. Walk with people who see the king or queen in you, even when you don't see it yourself. And finally, practice gratitude. Gratitude is a weapon. You cannot be grateful and defeated at the same time. When you focus on what God has already done, your faith for what's next begins to grow. Your thoughts shape your life. if you want to change your life, start with your mind. Kill negative thinking and watch how your world begins to shift. You were not created to be average. You were not born to live in fear. You are a child of purpose, filled with potential, destined for greatness. So stand up, take control of your mind, speak life, think truth, and go build the life you were born to live. When you make a decision to kill negative thinking, one of the greatest weapons you can pick up is gratitude. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It's a discipline, a mindset, a spiritual habit. When you wake up each day and begin by giving thanks, even for the smallest blessings, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's working. That shift alone is powerful. Start simple. Each day, list 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand or dramatic. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun on your skin, the kindness in a stranger's smile, a hot meal, a quiet moment. When you start seeing God's hand in the little things, you begin to build faith for the big things. Gratitude changes your perspective. It reconditions your mind. It teaches your brain to seek the good, even in hard seasons. And over time, positivity becomes your default posture, not your occasional reaction. Gratitude does remove the storm, but it gives you peace in the storm. And here's another truth. Your words carry weight. The language you speak, both out loud and in your thoughts, is shaping your life. Words are spiritual containers. They either build life or release death. Start listening to yourself. What are you saying on repeat? Are you speaking defeat over yourself? Phrases like, I can't, I'm not smart enough, it's too hard. Those are verbal chains. Chains you're placing on yourself. But when you shift your language, you shift your future. Instead of saying, I can't, ask, how can I? Instead of this is impossible, declare, with God, all things are possible. That's not self-help, that's scripture, that's truth. Speak life, speak purpose, speak victory. Because what you speak, you eventually believe, and what you believe, you begin to live. Another key to killing negative thinking is this: surround yourself with the right environment. You cannot nurture a winning mindset in a toxic atmosphere. The people you allow closest to you, their voices, their energy, their influence matter more than you know. If you're constantly around negativity, criticism, and complaining, it's only a matter of time before your mindset reflects it. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you do need to guard your spirit. Be intentional. Seek out voices that lift you, not crush you. Read books that stir your spirit. Listen to podcasts that remind you of who you are and what you carry. Walk with those who challenge your limits and awaken your dreams. Now, I can already hear someone saying, that sounds good, but you don't know what I'm going through. And you're right. I may not. Life can be brutal. We've all faced pain, disappointment, betrayal, setbacks. But here's the revelation. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, once said, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms: to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. That, my friend, is divine truth. Even in your darkest hour, you can choose hope. You can choose to learn, to rise, to believe again. Your trial is not your tomb. Your failure is not your future. The struggle you're facing may just be the training ground for your destiny. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How is this shaping me? What strength is being born in this fire? Because growth doesn't come in comfort, it comes in resistance. And pain, when processed correctly, becomes purpose. And here's one last tool: visualization. Your mind is powerful beyond comprehension. When you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, overcoming, thriving, you're not fantasizing. You're training your brain for victory. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's experienced. So paint the picture. See yourself winning. Feel it. Believe it. And then move in faith toward it. This is how you kill negative thinking. With gratitude, with truth, with intentional language, with the right environment, with a choice every single day to believe that your life is bigger than your struggle and your future is brighter than your past. You are not created to be a victim of thoughts. You are created to rule in life. Rule your mind, rule your words, rule your environment, and watch the transformation begin. Take a few moments every day, just a few, and close your eyes. Visualize. See yourself becoming who you were born to be. Picture yourself giving that presentation with power and poise. Feel the joy of finishing that race, the peace of fulfilling your assignment, the applause of impact. Hear it, feel it, see it vividly, because the more real it becomes in your mind, the more your subconscious will begin working to turn it into reality. You are not daydreaming. You are programming your spirit for success. This is divine strategy. God gave you imagination not to escape life, but to create it. What you repeatedly visualize, you magnetize. But don't stop there. If you want to maintain a positive winning mindset, you must also take care of the vessel God gave you, your body. Your mind and your body are not separate kingdoms. They are intertwined. When your physical health suffers, your mindset does too. Let your rest. Rest isn't weakness, it's restoration. Feed your body what fuels you, not just to look good, but to feel strong. Move your body. Exercise releases endorphins, God's built-in medicine that boosts your joy and destroy your stress. And don't forget to breathe. Mindfulness, prayer, meditation. They ground you. They help you recognize and redirect your thoughts before they spiral. You want to kill negative thinking? Then don't live without direction. Wandering breeds worry. Drifting fuels doubt. That's why you must have clear goals, purposeful goals, goals that excite your spirit. Write them down. Break them into steps. And when you make progress, celebrate it. Honor your wins, no matter how small, because momentum builds belief. And let me say this loud and clear. Don't chase goals based on others' expectations. The world will try to dictate what success should look like for you, but God never called you to live someone else's dream. Your goals must align with your values, your passions, your purpose. Oh, yes, purpose. That's the compass of your soul. When you know why you're here, you can endure almost anything. Purpose anchors your mindset. It gives your pain perspective. It transforms your trials into training. Your purpose doesn't have to be massive. You don't need a stage or a spotlight. Maybe your purpose is to raise strong children, to write stories that heal, to build a business that creates opportunities. Whatever it is, when you're clear on your why, the how becomes bearable. Now, let's address a myth. Positive thinking is not denial. It's not pretending everything is perfect. That's not truth. That's fantasy. What we are talking about is a mindset rooted in faith. A mindset that says, yes, this is hard, but I've been through worse, and I'm still standing. When a problem arises, don't say, this is the end. Say, this is a test, and I've been equipped for this. That's what separates victims from victors. You are not helpless. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You have the power to shape your life, one decision at a time. And here's another powerful tool to free your mind: forgiveness. Nothing poisons your mindset like bitterness. Unforgiveness is a silent toxin. It keeps you chained to the past. It's like drinking poison and hoping someone else will suffer. But forgiveness, real forgiveness, liberates you. It's not about excusing the offense. It's about choosing peace over pain. It's about letting go so you can grow. And while you're at it, forgive yourself too. Don't let guilt be your identity. Yes, you've made mistakes. So have we all. But your past does not define you. Your decisions today do. Remember, positive thinking alone is not enough. Faith without works is dead. You can't just sit in a corner visualizing success and expect it to appear. You must move, speak, plan, take action, one step at a time. Action transforms vision into reality. So rise up. Take dominion over your mind, over your habits, over your emotions. This is your time. This is your turning point. Kill that negative thinking and live the life you were created to live. No matter how small the action, it creates momentum. It builds your confidence. It whispers to your soul, I can do this. It proves to you that you are capable of creating real change in your life. Start small if you need to. Maybe it's making your bed each morning. Starting the day with one small win. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk to clear your mind. Maybe it's sending that one email you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, just move. Take that first step. Because action feeds motivation. And the more you move, the more you want to keep moving, like a snowball rolling downhill. Momentum builds, energy increases, and progress becomes inevitable. Another key to killing negative thinking is this: embrace failure. Stop fearing it. Stop running from it. Failure is not your enemy, it's your teacher. So many people are paralyzed by the idea of failing. They'd rather sit on the sidelines of life than risk falling. But hear me, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every great leader, every innovator, every world changer you admire has failed again and again. The difference is they didn't let failure define them, they let it refine them. When you stumble, don't say, I'm a failure. Say, I'm a learner. Ask yourself, what did this teach me? How can I grow from this? What can I do differently next time? This is the mindset of champions. It's called the growth mindset. The belief that your abilities can be developed through discipline, effort, and learning. Your talent is just the seed. Your perseverance is the soil, the water, and the sun. And in today's social media age, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparison. You scroll and see highlight reels, people's best moments, edited and filtered, and then you look at your life and feel behind. But hear this, you are not behind. You are on your own path. Your journey is uniquely yours. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Focus on your own growth. Celebrate your progress, even if it's small. Progress is still progress. Success is not limited. There's enough for all of us. Someone else's success is not your competition. It's confirmation that it can be done. Let it inspire you, not intimidate you. And here's another powerful tool: reframing. Reframing is choosing to look at the situation from a new perspective. It's the ability to find opportunity inside adversity. Lost your job? Maybe it's the push you needed to launch the business that's been on your heart. Relationship ended? Maybe that door had to close so the right one could open. Reframing doesn't ignore pain. It gives your pain purpose. It doesn't erase hardship. It reveals the hidden wisdom within it. And let's not forget, self-care is not optional. If you want to maintain a healthy mindset, you must prioritize your well-being. Stop placing yourself at the bottom of your own list. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot lead, love, or serve from a depleted place. Self-care looks different for everyone. Maybe it's taking a walk in nature, soaking in silence, reading, journaling, or simply saying no to things that drain you. Maybe it's setting boundaries with people who constantly take but never pour back into you. Whatever it looks like, schedule it. Treat it like an appointment with your future. And finally, resilience. The ability to bounce back. The strength to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. Resilience is not something you're born with. It's something you build. You build it every time you face a setback and rise anyway. You strengthen it every time life knocks you down and you refuse to stay there. One of the most effective ways to build resilience is by mastering your self-talk. When you hit a wall, don't say, "This always happens to me. I'll never make it." Instead, say, "This is temporary. I've been through worse, and I will overcome again." Because you will. And when you do, when you replace doubt with belief, fear with faith, defeat with discipline, you will look back and say, "I didn't just kill negative thinking, I buried it, and I rose in power." I can learn from this and come back stronger. That's what resilience sounds like. Not denial, not perfection, but growth. Resilience doesn't mean you never feel negative emotions. It means you don't let them rule you. It means you feel it, face it, and then move forward anyway. And just as your thoughts affect your emotions, your environment influences your mind. A cluttered space often creates a cluttered spirit. Chaos around you can breed chaos within you. That's why it's time to take dominion over your environment. Clean your space, organize your room, light a candle, add a plant. Surround yourself with sights that calm your mind and uplift your soul. And don't forget, your digital environment matters too. What you feed your mind online will shape your attitude offline. If your timeline is full of fear, division, drama, and negativity, curate it, clean it up, replace it with pages, podcasts, voices, and visuals that pour life, faith, and vision into your mind. Now here's a tool many people overlook: mindfulness. No, it's not mystical or strange. It's spiritual awareness. It's about being fully present in the now. It's about observing your thoughts instead of being owned by them. Because hear this, you are not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but they don't have to have you. When you practice mindfulness, you begin to recognize the lies before they take root. You create space between stimulus and response, between what you feel and how you act. And in that space is power. The power to choose, the power to redirect, the power to replace anxiety with calm, worry with faith, and fear with focus. And as you walk this journey, don't forget to celebrate your wins. Too often we rush from one mountain to the next without pausing to praise God for how far we've come. Take a moment every single day to acknowledge the small victories. Maybe you spoke up when fear tried to silence you. Maybe you chose forgiveness when bitterness came knocking. Maybe you just got out of bed when everything in you wanted to stay down. Celebrate that, because every win, no matter how small, reinforces your growth. It trains your brain to expect success, to look for progress, to recognize the grace of God in the ordinary. Another powerful principle: never stop growing. A stagnant mind is a breeding ground for negativity, but a learning mind, a growing mind, is fertile soil for positivity. Read, study, stretch yourself, learn something new, challenge yourself to go beyond your limits. Because when you grow, you gain confidence, and confidence is a spiritual antidote to fear. Growth often begins right outside your comfort zone. So don't fear the discomfort. It's a signal that you're breaking through into a new level of thinking and living. And here's something many don't realize: serving others heals you. When you shift your focus from your own pain to someone else's need, something shifts inside you. Service is one of the most powerful ways to kill negative thinking, whether it's volunteering, mentoring, helping a friend, or just showing kindness to a stranger. Service activates purpose. It reminds you that you have value, that your life matters, that you're still a vessel of blessing. And the beauty is, you don't have to do something grand. A smile, a kind word, a generous gesture, it all creates a ripple effect. And finally, let me teach you about neuroplasticity, God's built-in system for transformation. Your brain is not fixed. It's always adapting. Every time you choose a positive thought over a negative one, you're literally rewiring your mind. You're carving new mental pathways. And with repetition, those pathways become highways, making positive thinking your default state. At first, yes, it may feel unnatural. That's where affirmations come in. Speak life over yourself daily. Declare truth out loud. Say things like, I am capable, I am loved, I am chosen, I am strong, I am full of purpose. Even if it feels forced at first, keep speaking. Because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real, but what you repeat, it begins to believe. And what it believes, it begins to create. So speak like you believe, think like you believe, walk like you believe, because the more you align your thoughts with truth, the more unstoppable you become. The more you repeat these truths, the more your mind begins to embrace them. Repetition leads to transformation. As you consistently declare life over yourself, your brain accepts these words as your new reality. You are reprogramming your inner dialogue, one affirmation at a time. But let's go even deeper. To truly sustain a positive mindset, you must develop emotional intelligence. What is that? It's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions without letting them master you. It's also being aware of how your emotions affect others. When you grow in emotional intelligence, you stop reacting and start responding. You don't get swept away by every wave of frustration, anger, or fear. You acknowledge those emotions, but you don't let them drive the car. You pause, you breathe, you choose. That strength, that maturity, it begins with self-awareness. Pay attention to what triggers you. Notice where you feel it in your body. Is it tension in your shoulders, a knot in your stomach, a racing heart? These signals are not enemies, they are messengers. And the more aware you are of these emotional patterns, the more power you have to redirect them. Another weapon in killing negative thinking is the ability to set and protect your boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they're gates. They define what you allow into your mental, emotional, and spiritual space. Without boundaries, you'll drown in people-pleasing, burn out from overcommitting, and get lost in environments that drain your identity. Saying no might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's not selfish, it's sacred. Because when you protect your peace, you can show up with your whole heart. Boundaries teach people how to treat you, and they remind you that your worth isn't measured by how much you tolerate, but by how much you honor yourself. Now let's confront something that's been silently poisoning too many minds. Perfectionism. Perfectionism whispers, you're never enough. It convinces you that anything less than flawless is failure. But hear me, perfection is a lie. It's a trap, and it feeds a cycle of endless striving and crushing self-criticism. Instead of perfection, aim for progress. Progress is real, progress is achievable, and progress allows grace. Making mistakes doesn't disqualify you, it proves you're human. You're allowed to stumble. As long as you keep moving forward, the goal is not to be perfect, the goal is to be better than you were yesterday. Another deep strategy in overcoming negative thinking is the practice of radical acceptance. That doesn't mean you approve of everything that happens. It means you stop fighting reality with resistance and denial. Because the more you resist, the more you suffer. Acceptance frees up emotional energy. It allows you to stop asking, why me, and start asking, what now? You take control of your response, even if you can't control the situation. Radical acceptance isn't giving up. It's letting go of what you can't change so you can focus on what you can. And if you want to stay free from negative patterns, live with curiosity. Don't rush to label every challenge as a disaster. Ask, what is this here to teach me? What am I learning about myself? What if this is preparing me for something greater? Curiosity keeps your mind open. It protects you from cynicism and judgment. It leads you to wisdom. You must also protect your energy. Your thoughts are tied to your energy levels. When you're exhausted, overwhelmed, or stretched too thin, positivity becomes a struggle. So know this, rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. Know when to push and know when to pause. Listen to your body, respect your limits, prioritize activities that fuel you, and distance yourself from what drains you. That may mean saying no more often. It may mean stepping back from commitments that no longer serve your growth. You're not called to do everything. You're called to do what aligns with your purpose. And finally, your social circle matters. The people around you are either feeding your faith or fueling your fear. They're either encouraging your growth or enabling your negativity. In the next part, we're going to talk about how to manage that circle so your environment no longer reflects your old mindset, but supports the future you're stepping into. Now let's talk about the people around you. Because whether you realize it or not, your circle shapes your mindset. The people you spend the most time with leave fingerprints on your thoughts, your beliefs, and your energy. So ask yourself, are they lifting you up or pulling you down? Surround yourself with voices that speak life into your vision. Choose friends who believe in your potential, who challenge you to grow, who encourage you when you can't see your own strength. These are the people who feed your faith, not your fears. On the flip side, be mindful of those who constantly complain, criticize, or dwell in pessimism. Their energy is contagious and not in a good way. This doesn't mean you have to cut everyone off, but it does mean protecting your peace. You can love people from a distance. You can set emotional limits without apology. Remember this, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. Your future depends on it. One of the most underrated tools in fighting negative thinking is journaling. Writing down your thoughts allows you to get them out of your head and onto paper where you can see them more clearly. It gives your emotions room to breathe and your soul a space to speak. Start with gratitude. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. Small things count. A smile, a quiet morning, a moment of peace. Gratitude rewires your brain. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Or try keeping a WII journal. What I succeeded in. Every day, jot down your accomplishments, no matter how small. You'll begin to see your growth, your effort, and your resilience reflected back at you. When doubt creeps in, look back at those pages and remind yourself, you've already overcome more than you thought possible. And don't underestimate the healing power of joy and laughter. Laughter is medicine. It releases endorphins, eases tension, and restores your perspective. Life doesn't have to be heavy all the time. It's okay to laugh at yourself, to be silly, to find humor in the chaos. Make room in your life for joy. Watch a funny movie. Be around people who make your soul smile. Dance in your living room. Sing out loud. Play. Joy is strength in disguise. It's not a distraction. It's a survival strategy. Now let's talk about something many people struggled with silently, trusting yourself. Negative thinking often grows in the soil of self-doubt. You second guess your decisions, your voice, your worth. But healing begins when you decide to trust yourself again. Start small. Keep the promises you make to yourself. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you started. Honor your own boundaries. Listen to that quiet voice inside, your intuition. It knows more than you think. Every time you follow through, you send yourself a message, I can count on me. That's how confidence is built, not in giant leaps, but in small, consistent acts of self-respect. In this digital age, comparison is a silent killer of peace. Social media has made it far too easy to measure your life against someone else's highlight reel. But hear this, you're comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's edited version of reality. It's not a fair fight. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Celebrate your own pace, your unique journey, your quiet progress. You don't have to be the best, just be your best. That's enough. Another secret weapon in killing negative thinking is self-compassion. Some of the harshest words we ever hear are the ones we say to ourselves. You wouldn't talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself. So why make yourself an enemy? Be gentle, be kind, give yourself permission to be imperfect. When you mess up, forgive quickly. When you fall, rise with grace. Ask yourself, would I say this to someone I love? If not, don't say it to yourself. Reframe those thoughts with compassion. And finally, let's unlock the power of visualization. Your mind is wired to respond to images. When you visualize your goals as already achieved, you give your subconscious a blueprint to follow. You begin to walk in alignment with the outcome you desire. Spend a few minutes each day seeing your victory. Picture yourself healed, whole, confident, successful, loved. walking in purpose. Feel the emotions as if it's already real, because when your mind can see it, your life can begin to create it. The more vividly you imagine success, peace, and confidence, the more powerfully your mind begins to accept it as truth. That's the secret. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something vividly imagined and something real. So use this to your advantage. Visualize the life you want. Picture yourself already becoming the person you're destined to be. The more you do, the more your reality starts to align with that vision. Another critical shift in maintaining a positive mindset is learning to embrace uncertainty. Much of our negative thinking comes from fearing what we cannot control. We imagine worst-case scenarios, paralyze ourselves with what-ifs, and get stuck in cycles of anxiety. But here's the truth. Uncertainty is not your enemy. It's a space filled with infinite possibility. See the unknown as a blank canvas, a chance for divine surprises. Some of the most beautiful moments in life come from the unexpected. When you begin to trust the process, fear loses its grip. Let's be clear. Eliminating negative thinking doesn't mean you'll never have a dark thought again. It means learning to notice it, challenge it, and replace it with something better. It's progress, not perfection. Day by day, choice by choice, you're rewriting your mind and reclaiming your power